Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
My third eye is watching.
Not how the third eye works.
You know how the third eye works, huh?
I've studied it for many years.
That's,
no mistakes, no coincidences.
Larry Bird's not walking through that door, fans.
Just a process. You are now called before the Illuminati.
The Illuminati?
Is that working? Are we connected?
Maze, can you hear me?
Tom? Tom, is that you?
It's me, Mr. Statistician Face Man.
Oh, yes. The statistician face man.
Now what you gonna do, Mr. Statistician Face Man?
We live? Is this live right now?
Are we on a secure line?
It's been so long. What is a secure line? What does that mean?
Maze has been gone so long, he's forgotten.
We need you back, Maze.
He's forgotten the meaning of simple things. What is this line you speak of?
What is line? What is secure?
We just rebooted him.
Teach me.
I mean, maybe we need to say some words to draw up his memory a little bit.
We've got to access the mainframe. Let's see. Research. Is that the password?
Research.
Okay.
Research, yes.
Code breakers?
Breaking the code, yes.
Let's try this one. Basketball Illuminati, basketball Illuminati, basketball Illuminati. Say it 3 times. Keep your third eye open.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
rebooted.
He's back.
Rebooted. He's back.
What happened? Something happened?
I think we were off air for a year underground.
For a couple of years.
Oh.
Amazing.
Sorry, I mean, it's been a couple minutes for me. Last time I saw you guys, we were recording an episode, so it's not that crazy.
Where have you been, Maze?
I've been right here.
Did you not know?
Know what?
We're back.
Oh, maybe that's why my third eye hurts so bad.
My assignment
Uncover why the association inspires more conspiracy theories in volume and salience than any other U.S. sport.
You've heard of the Illuminati.
The truth is out there, but so are lies.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
The NBA has always been controlled by about 8 people.
Denial is the most predictable of all human responses.
If you're only using 10% of your brain, you don't even know that you're using 10% of your brain.
The NBA Illuminati.
If coincidences are just coincidences, why do they feel so contrived?
The Illuminati.
But you start to follow the money, and you don't know where the f*** it's going to take you.
It is unspoken. They have influence among other players.
The NBA Illuminati.
I don't have time for your convenient ignorance.
Maybe I'm a conspiracist now as well.
That's all it took. Oh, we got books, we got schools. You saw a video on YouTube.
Why am I eyes, sir? You've never used them before.
We are the basketball Illuminati.
This is Basketball Illuminati. Sorry, got a little choked up there. The emotions are taking over here.
What is it?
This is Basketball Illuminati. I am Tom Haberstroh. As always, I am joined by the 5-star Illuminarmy generals, Amin Elhassan, and super producer Anthony Mays.
Now, Tom, obviously I've missed doing this podcast tremendously, but there were certain flashpoint moments where I really missed it, where I was like, oh my God, can't believe we aren't on the air to expose this, to go in depth, to bring the truth to the masses. And one of those moments was this story that you published for Yahoo Sports.
I did some research and I've been waiting to talk about it here on Basketball Illuminati. And finally, we are above ground. We are online and we are able to talk about this to our Illumination. Michael Jordan, the most controversial Defensive Player of the Year award ever. And we are going to expose something very hidden, something very questionable, something very screwy about that season in 1988. The lone Defensive Player of the Year award for Michael Jordan.
I'm not going to cut around the corner. Fraudulence in the stat keeping surrounding Michael Jordan's campaign, which resulted in him winning Defensive Player of the Year, very much so on the back of such fraudulent stats.
And it's considered one of the greatest statistical seasons of all time.
The season was lauded and presented to us on a pedestal, on a mantle, something that we should worship. A standard never seen before, a standard never seen since. And as one of the crown jewel stamping moments that solidified Michael Jordan's status as not only the greatest player in the history of the game, but a deity. We don't even deserve to breathe the same oxygen.
I don't even think he breathes oxygen, by the way.
He probably doesn't. He probably breathes in fire and shits out bricks and all that stuff. And that's why, right? So many things, 6-0 in the finals, but this is one of those things they put in the belt, right? And that Thanos gauntlet, the big stone right here, Defensive Player of the Year, and he led the league in scoring in the same year. When have you ever seen that before? That's what they said. And we're like, oh, you know what? It's a great point. He was a great defensive player, and he was obviously a great scorer. He was at the peak of both of those things in one moment in time, and we've never seen that and probably will never see it again. And Tom, you ask questions because what they want with all of this mythology building is don't ask questions. Why is it this? Because God wants it that way, and that's the end of the discussion. And you dare to look up at Mount Olympus and stare right into the corona of the sun and say, yes, but why? And what did you find, Tom?
Michael Jordan's 1988 Defensive Player of the Year season, it is not what it's cracked up to be, and here's why. And what happened after I exposed some of the underlying fishiness going on with the 1988 Defensive Player of the Year award? I was cast as a LeBron James operative, a Klutch operative. Because to poke holes or to question or to put under the microscope or scrutinize anything regarding Michael Jordan, it must be from someone on the Klutch payroll. And I was accused of being part of this cabal, this anti-Michael Jordan agenda.
This made me very proud, but also made me disappointed. This is when I knew basketball Illuminati was needed more than ever, because we have the people out there with their cork boards and their string,
connecting the dots,
drawing connections between Tom Haberstroh, numbers man, Mr. Statistician face man, and Klutch, LeBron, Rich Paul, because why else would this piece be written? Why else would this research be done? Part of me was proud to see so many third eyes flickering, but alas, those third eyes were blind.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in.
That's why Basketball Illuminati has returned to clarify, to parse through the noise and deliver the truth, allowing all those third eyes to see clearly that what Tom found wasn't a mere Klutch operation. It was something much more significant.
But Tom, what did you question? What did you find? Let's not bury the lead here. You found damning evidence of what?
Very questionable stat keeping by the home statistician in Chicago. Michael Jordan led the NBA in steals that season for the first time in his NBA career, and did so with mind-boggling numbers. And the reason why your mind was boggled is because we hadn't seen stats like this before. And maybe that boggling was because something in your nostrils smelled a little like rotten fish, a little fishy. You might have sniffed something off about these numbers. He had 259 steals that season and 131 blocks, 3.2 steals per game, 1.6 blocks per game. To this day, in NBA history, it has never been matched. It has never been duplicated. And the reason that he was able to accumulate those averages is because of a historically unprecedented disparity between his home blocks and steals and his road blocks and steals. Let's go through these numbers real quick. At home, Michael Jordan averaged 4.0 steals and 2.1 blocks per game.
And on the road, he averaged, I'm assuming like 3.9, 3.8 steals, something along those lines. Maybe 4.1, maybe a little bit more.
I hope you're sitting down for this, Amin. 2.1 steals and 1.2 blocks.
But Tom, that's almost half of what he was doing at home. Could it be possible that he just played better in the confines of the Chicago Stadium then at that point?
It is possible, but he had 82% higher stats at home versus on the road. 82%. So the way I did this was I basically looked at his home steal rate per 36 minutes plus his home block rate per 36 minutes. That equals 5.2 blocks plus steals per 36 minutes. Or as I like to call it, stocks. Okay, 5.5 stocks per 36 minutes. 3.0 on the road. That margin, 82% higher at home than road, is actually the largest disparity in NBA history for any Defensive Player of the Year award.
Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Quince and their cookware. Cooler nights mean cozy meals at home, and Quince's cookware has made fall cooking so much more enjoyable. Their pieces deliver the quality and performance of luxury brands, but at a price that makes sense. And they look gorgeous on the stovetop, too. No matter what item you need to complete your kitchen, Quince has you covered with 5-ply stainless steel pots and pans, nonstick skillets, chef-quality knives, and even ceramic bakeware, which is perfect for cozy casseroles or Sunday roasts. And when you look at these prices, you might think, how is Quince doing this? How do they deliver high-quality items similar to high-end brands that are half the price? Well, let me tell you, they partner directly with ethical top-tier factories to cut out the middlemen and pass the savings on to you. And it's not just cookware. I got myself some bath sheets. That's right. When you're a tall man, you have to use bath sheets, not bath towels from Quince. It's like drying off with the cloud. It's incredible. Upgrade your kitchen for cozy fall meals with premium cookware from Quince. Go to quince.com/dings for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dings, DINGS, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dings.
Listener, listen up. This is important, okay? I'm going to try to save you some money here. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. You may think like, oh, that's bad. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. You heard that correctly. $15 per month. Ditch overpriced wireless and the jaw-dropping monthly bills. And of course, there are all these hidden fees and stuff, but at Mint Mobile, plans start at $15 per month. All the plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text. You're not doing like weekend and nighttime minutes or anything like that. And it's delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone. Don't have to get a new phone. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. I switched months ago. People have asked, did you actually switch? Yes, I actually switched months ago, and I don't know what to do with all this extra money. I've cheated the system here. I've rigged something. This is an Ocean's 11 situation where I'm stealing wireless from Mint. That's how good a deal it is. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/dings. That's DINGS. That's mintmobile.com/dings. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hello, listener. It's producer Maze here to talk to you about Kindred. Now, close your eyes like Owen Wilson during a job interview and imagine a way to travel that feels personal, comfortable, and connected without the price tags and the sterile feelings of hotels or short-term rentals. Now open your eyes and stop using your imagination because Kindred has made it very real. That's exactly what they do. Kindred is a members-only home swapping network. It's not a hotel. It's not a short-term rental. It's a smarter way to travel where each stay feels like home. Here's how it works. With Kindred, your home is your ticket. You earn credits by hosting fellow Kindred members, and then you use those credits to stay in over 220,000 homes in more than 100 cities worldwide. There are no hotel costs or rental fees, just the credits that you've earned. Every stay comes with white glove service, 24/7 trip support, and $100,000 in host protection. Make it easier for you to travel and enjoy yourself and not worry about details. I've used Kindred and I found an amazing home for a weekend getaway in an idyllic location with amazing views and great ambiance. It had everything I needed. And the best part was, it cost me $0. So apply now at livekindred.com and use code DINGS to join for free. Plus, you'll earn 5 nights of travel credit just for signing up. That's right, that's 5 whole nights for free at livekindred, KINDRED.com, code DINGS, DINGS, livekindred.com, code DINGS.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
And to be clear, let's back up here for a second. Before we get to the truth and all the reporting and the due diligence I had to do for this story, let's remind the listeners, we have been on this trail before.
That's right, Tom. The origin of your Yahoo story came from this podcast way back in January 2023, when a little player by the name of Jaren Jackson Jr., who would also win Defensive Player of the Year, was putting up his own crazy home road splits. In fact, Basketball Illuminati did reporting at the time on this phenomenon and verified that all of Jaren Jackson Jr.'s statistics every single block, every single steal were proven to be accurate.
Wait, how did we check that? Did we call someone who had been at the game, or maybe the statistician himself or the NBA? How did we verify that the blocks were legitimate?
If I recall correctly, Amin did his own research. Amin was out here putting his video coordinator skills to work, grinding tape, watching every single play that Jaren Jackson Jr. was involved in. And then you guys did a Twitter Spaces on January 28th, 2023, sharing your findings.
All right, so now it's all coming together for me.
Yeah, the breadcrumbs, you're picking them up and eating them, right? I mean, remembering?
Yeah, so we had some stats, some home road splits that were in question. We did an audit of these games. We watched these blocks and steals, and we ascertained that Mr. Jaren Jackson Jr. legitimately garnered those blocks and steals. There was no funny business. It sounds like the solution here is just to do the same thing with Michael Jordan stats, and then we'll ascertain that he didn't have any funny business, right?
Right. Turns out that's really hard to do. I mean, really hard to do.
Can't you just fire up Synergy or Second Spectrum? They have all the games uploaded, don't they?
They don't. It turns out that the only games that are in Synergy, which is a video platform that NBA teams use, media uses, scouts use to scout talent and basically watch every highlight clip of every player that has ever played professional sports or high school, college, dating back years and years. The NBA archives on Synergy only goes back to 2004.
Oh, no, that's a long time after Michael Jordan's career, yeah.
We just missed it, guys.
So what's the solution?
So the solution is we go to Latvia.
Seems like a little bit of a detour.
Latvia, is that a club or some sort of bar?
Latvia, it's a country in Europe.
Oh, the nation of Latvia.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Yes, the place that gave us Kristaps Porzingis. There you go.
We've got a basketball executive, Rainis Latsis, who is also a journalist who has written stories about fishy stat keeping, home cook stats. I reached out to this guy as part of an investigation over at Pablo Torre Finds Out. An Illuminarmy general himself, Pablo Torre.
He's more of a lieutenant, I would say.
Okay, he's got stripes.
He got some stripes. General status. I'll pump the brakes there.
Reason why we're sitting here today, Pablo, is because of an internet forum back in 2009. It all starts here. In the APBR metrics forum,
which I did not know about until you called me up. Deeply excited to explain what this is.
This is a meeting of the minds. It is the NBA Reddit before NBA Reddit existed. Someone posted the headline, "Scorekeeper Story with a Bomb." The revelation in this, that a poster had heard from a friend tell him a story about his experience as a stat keeper in the NBA. He's a stat keeper from 1997, the Vancouver Grizzlies. I'm reading this forum, and this scorekeeper is saying he was cooking the books. I remember vividly, Pablo, sitting at my island kitchen table, watching SportsCenter, and Nick the Quick, Nick Van Exel.
Yes. In the Laker game where he has like a zillion assists.
23 assists. And this guy, this is what he said. Because I'm a Laker fan, I gave Nick Van Exel like 23 assists one game. If he was vaguely close to a guy making a shot, I found a way to give him an assist. Tommy Craggs at Deadspin picks it up. Craggs gets on the phone and talks to the stat keeper. And in the story, all we know is his name is Alex and he works in the Navy.
So then, Tom, I remember in the Illuminati chat, you very excitedly sending us a picture like a kid on Christmas morning. It came, it's here.
Yeah.
The 1996 Vancouver Grizzlies media guide.
Ugh.
What everybody has been dying to track down.
This is it.
There it is.
So glossy.
This is it. The 1996-97 media guide, which I purchased on eBay for like $15. Well worth it because it brought me this story and about 10 other stories. By finding out that the statistician here, Alex, turns out to be Alex Rucker.
Rucker Park?
Alex Rucker is an analytics icon. He's a guy who was profiled by Zach Lowe and Grantland.com about his work with the Toronto Raptors and the sport view analysis, and they were changing the game. They were at the cutting edge of analytics, creating a defensive software system that you could optimize your defensive coverages based on the 5 coordinates of the offensive players and 5 defenders. And he was creating next level stuff. And so I had known that name, Alex Rucker. And I said, wait a minute, I know Alex. He's one of the executives of the Philadelphia 76ers. Turns out he had left the Philadelphia 76ers after being the VP of basketball operations. And I reached out to him and I said, is this you? And Pablo Torre finds out we talked to Alex Rucker.
What does he say when you confront him with the evidence that actually he might be the scammer who selectively edited NBA history?
Well, he owned up to it, but here's why that happened. He was 20, Pablo.
I was immature. I handled things in a way that I certainly wouldn't today. When I first got the role, I'm bringing the computers home. I'm practicing by myself. I'm trying to develop these skills so that I can do the best I can once the first jump ball happens. My job is to create the most accurate, historical record of what occurred in a game. And I learned very quickly that was not the prevailing viewpoint. I went to the training in Detroit. Part of this training is they would show us video clips. They show a Stockton to Malone clip. And, there's a discussion and like that wasn't an assist, it was a pass. And then, Malone dribbled a couple times, pump fake, and then, made a tough shot. And that's great. But like that's, to me, there's no real connection. There's no causal connection between the pass and the basket. And the majority opinion by a mile was, oh no, that's definitely an assist. I was like, what? Like, well, that's John Stockton. I'm like, yeah, I understand, but so? I left there clearly understanding that, yes, we are supposed to create the most accurate representation we can, but the NBA is also an entertainment business, and it's up to us, in very small part, as statisticians, to support or reinforce stars and excitement and fun. And that message was definitely reinforced internally within the Grizzlies.
And that's when he gets the idea, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing for the Vancouver Grizzlies. And if I like the Lakers, I'm going to see how far I can push this and give Nick Van Exel basically the assist record because I like the Lakers and see if I get caught. And he doesn't get caught for years and years and years. And what he said is there's no way that this would ever happen now. In today's NBA, this doesn't happen because there's all sorts of auditing barriers, screens to make sure that a Jaren Jackson Jr., if that block is considered a block, they have people verifying that. I mean, you verified it yourself. You looked at the videotape and you said, this is pretty clean. But Jaren Jackson Jr. that year, when we were looking at it, only had a 50% higher home road bias in his stats.
Right.
Michael Jordan's 88 season was 82%. No other player winning Defensive Player of the Year had ever had higher than 60%. The highest on record was 59%, according to my research. And Michael Jordan was at 82%. But that's not enough. You know where I'm going with this. You can't just have statistical, circumstantial evidence.
You got to have a story to sell. What's the story? Why would they ever do this, Tom?
In 1987, Michael Cooper won Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Jordan was second in steals, and he didn't finish anywhere on the all-defensive ballot. And this pissed him off. The reason why I know that this pissed him off is because he said so to Sports Illustrated in an 18-page season preview looking at the upcoming 1988 season, the 87-88 season. Michael Jordan was the cover story for Sports Illustrated, 18 pages devoted to this growing empire of mega superstardom of Michael Jordan. And he says it himself.
Michael Cooper is great at ball denial, but check his other stats. This league gives defensive awards on reputation. It just teased me off, golfing terms.
Do you think he really said tease me off, by the way?
Yes. Because it was the 80s. It's a very 20 CB way of saying I'm pissed off.
Oh, so this is it, man. This is it right here. You have a very bitter, and I can understand that.
To be fair, it's not like Michael Jordan is a bitter, grudge-holding kind of guy.
No.
This is a level-headed, even-keeled guy who would totally be understanding that, hey, man, sometimes the votes don't go in your way.
Yeah, let's ask Charles Barkley and Scotty Burrell about that.
You're playing with a guy that has the highest standards of any basketball player ever. You want to live up to that challenge. It's tough. Tough love. I mean, you got to go out there and do your job.
Don't you dance down. Game time. That's 9, bitch. Hey, Scott Burrell, where you out there now, ho?
When we look at Michael Jordan that season, his stats go bonkers. After he says, I am teed off, that Michael Cooper won Defensive Player of the Year, but he didn't have any blocks and steals. It is all reputation. Michael Jordan himself is essentially saying stats rule everything. They should dictate who's a good defensive player or not. Noted statistician himself, Michael Jordan, started accumulating gobs of steals, racking up steals and racking up blocks.
Because he was motivated.
Yeah.
Because he was mad at Michael Cooper. He played harder, obviously.
Said I was second in steals last year. I'll be first this year.
I'll be first.
Then they'll love me.
It's a weird thing, though, when you look at the tape.
Well, Tom, how did you watch the games?
Called up my buddy from Latvia again. It said, yo, do you have any Michael Jordan games that season, 1988, any Chicago Bulls games? And it turns out these are the people who have those games. European diehard NBA fans have a black market where they trade old NBA film.
This is getting real Illuminati-esque right here. So the only way to get footage of the greatest player in the history of basketball during his best season is to go to Latvia and buy videotapes on the black market, Tom.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. You could, in theory, pick up the phone and call NBA Entertainment. NBA Entertainment, which is the entertainment arm of the NBA, has their headquarters in Secaucus, New Jersey. And in Secaucus, they have massive vaults of physical media containing every game that's been televised since at least 1980-something, and then many games before then, but obviously a lot harder because many of them weren't televised. But once we got into the era of every team, every game being televised either on national or local television, they've got a copy of that.
How do you know, Amin?
The plot thickens as years and years ago, when I was a video coordinator, we would make teaching tapes for our players of different actions and different things. We had a guard post-up teaching tape, and it was Sam Cassell and Gary Payton clipping that and showing them how the guards post up, how they get their post position. We had big men post-ups with Kevin McHale, Nakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone. We had navigating the screen with Reggie Miller and Rip Hamilton. Obviously, the pick and roll tape was Steve Nash. We just cut our own stuff. But in an effort to diversify and go deeper, we tried to go to the NBA to get copies of games that were earlier because we wanted to include other players. And we were told, sure, fill out this form. It'll be hundreds of dollars per game we pull for you.
Hundreds of dollars? Why is it so expensive?
Because they're justifying it as someone's got to go into the vault through all the archives to find this thing, make a copy of it, then send us the copy via FedEx. That was a lot of work. And so in order to discourage, I guess, teams from doing this, they put a price tag that they knew no video coordinator could ever get approved for what was essentially a summertime project, pet project. And so we never, ever actually requested them. But Tom, I say this to say, the NBA has those games if they'll sell them to you.
Yeah, and they have those games because we have at least one that is on the NBA channels, YouTube. Search on YouTube, Michael Jordan's got 10 steals in one game, ! Note when this was posted, August 2022, so 2 years ago. This was posted on the official NBA channels. I will spare you the homework here and the research because I did it. If you watch this clip, you will find there are only 6 steals shown.
Yeah, we've got our own Illuminarmy field agents in the comments. The Andy K123 has time-stamped every alleged steal, including some tip passes by Jordan that were credited to other people, a block by Jordan, a steal by Charles Oakley. But regardless, everybody here is still waiting for the 10 steals.
Yeah. There's only 6 steals shown.
Look, people post things on YouTube all the time, and they put erroneous things in the caption in order to get people to have clicks. So maybe the person who posted this was just trying to get a rise out of people, maybe add some followers to their account. Would you say account that was again that posted it?
NBA.
How do you spell that?
It's NBA. 3 letters. Yeah.
Are you saying that the NBA posted this video with the erroneous caption?
It is the official NBA video, yeah.
Well then, guys, I don't know if you smell what I smell, but I'll tell you right now, it starts with a C-O-N and it ends with a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
Well, no, I mean, wait.
No.
1 2-minute clip does not indict anybody on this, okay?
Sure.
You have to watch the games. You have to acquire the games. So that's what I did. I charted my own games with my own 3 eyes. I watched not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 Michael Jordan big steal games so I could have a large sample size as much as I could. I went looking, scraped the internet to find anyone who had Chicago Bulls games, home games from that season to verify these stats. And not only did I find an interesting discrepancy, I asked Rainus, who's an executive basketball diehard junkie, to review these games himself independently. We wanted to be objective here, impartial observers. And then we were going to cross-check, cross-reference our findings. And what did we see? A substantial overcounting of steals. Because in these 6 games, there was in the box score 28 steals.
About 4.5 steals a game.
Do you know how many we saw?
I'm going to guess about 27, maybe 26.
Lower.
25.
21.
You know what? I'll just tell you. 12.
12.
12. A dozen.
Okay.
Which is 2 steals a game. That's good. Hardly the 4.5 that we were sold.
2 steals a game. Why does that ring a bell? Oh, because that's his road steals count.
Oh.
He averaged that season 2.1 steals per game on the road. So in these 6 games, we saw more than half of his steals in the box score unaccounted for. There are these phantom steals. Where are these steals? Where are these blocks? You can't go back and look at the play-by-play and say, okay, this is where they said Michael Jordan had a steal. I'm going to go back to the second quarter, 141 left, and watch this steal. They do not exist. That's because the NBA official records only began in 1996, charting play-by-play, official play-by-play for every team in the league. If you go to Basketball Reference right now and you look at box scores, you can't click on play-by-play before 1996. So these games that I'm watching, I'm only watching with my 3 eyes without a play-by-play to cross-reference it against.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. 1 order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Dripping in gold? That's cool. Dripping in Velveeta's supremely creamy golden cheesiness? That's respect. Elevate your drip with Velveeta's range of outrageously delicious dips and dishes. Shells, cheese, melty blocks, and heat and eat queso that go all in on indulgence. Flex on your fam with a creamy, cheesy masterpiece and go all in on what you love with Velveeta. Respect the drip and satisfy your cravings. Bring home the drip with Velveeta.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like expecting the leadership of a team captain on the football field, but getting a sea captain. You wouldn't settle for just anything for your team. Shouldn't it be the same for your insurance? So don't settle for just any insurance when you can go with a leader. State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
So I reached out to Justin Jacobs, a former researcher / analytics guru for the Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets, and the league office itself. But more uniquely, Justin Jacobs is also a former applied research mathematician at the, get this, National Security Agency. Yes, the NSA.
I started going onto games on YouTube, and this is like 2010, 2011, building a play-by-play box score for every game that I'd watch. But I've gotten through a little over 1,800 games from between 1979 and 1996.
Of these 1,800 plus games that Justin has logged, he told me he has 341 Michael Jordan games, including 43 from the Depoy season in 1988 that I was investigating. This was obviously a gold mine. I had to share my findings with him, and of course, Justin was naturally skeptical. I mean, we're talking about a former NSA mathematician here. He takes this stuff extremely seriously.
You asked me the question of, if his numbers are wrong, would that make you question whether or not he deserved the Defensive Player of the Year? And I gave you a true statistician answer with, it depends. It depends on the extent. It depends on how the other players are and how their stats are recorded. You know, sometimes the stats we have back in the day aren't quite right. It's going to be an interpretation of who's ever recording the data. To do each game and to be correct about it, you don't just go and look at the games and try and count the steals. You have to look at every single box score element of every single player in that game, because you don't know if something's going to be charged as a defensive rebound strip or an offensive rebound for a player. Are you actually going to put in the hours and hours of work to do this? Are you going to select the right games? I'm asking the natural data collection type questions. So when the article comes out, I'm like, no way, this can't be right. So I know Reynes. I reached out to him and I'm like, come on, man, is this real? And he's like, yeah, you know, I looked at it and I fully respect Reynes. Not to say I don't respect you, but, you know, I've had a relationship with Reynes for a long time. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to double check this because I don't think these numbers are right. There's no way that he's 50% off on this. I'm going to find out that Tom doesn't know how to count steals properly. You have to take all those factors into account, right? So I go through the Nuggets game. And I remember I got to the end, I go, son of a B, I got the exact same number he did. All right, let's go check another game. And I went through every single game that you went through, and I came up with the exact same results. I like to say I was a little salty about it, man, because I don't like seeing some of these numbers not aligning with what's actually happening on video evidence. Damn you, Tom. But at the same time, we should really have a correct representation of our history going forward to make sure that when we talk about our history, we're actually talking about it appropriately. I hate going on to forums and seeing people try and say blasphemous things about any type of player and not have any backing. They're just like, oh, the eye test. And it's like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure you're not watching games because I'm collecting data while watching the games and neither of them are agreeing with you.
So yeah, admittedly, this felt very validating to have Justin's confirmation on what I had been seeing. And I knew that my article was gaining some serious traction here. However, Justin, being the thorough researcher that he is, was not satisfied with my sample size.
I decided to take it a step further and I did about 5 more games after that. And the discrepancy wasn't as bad. There's a cap to it. So you took some of his highest steal games. If I don't have his highest steal games, there's less to, in your words, home cook at that point. So if there's 4 steals and he gets 3, which happened, if he got 3 steals and he had 2, which happened, but there was also games where he had 3 and he did get 3 for it. I think you've uncovered the largest discrepancies. I don't want to say you uncovered all the largest discrepancies because we don't have all the games. I'm still missing about 35 games. And there's a couple games where he has 5 or 6 steals in there.
Okay, so Justin thinks that the sample that I chose was selective. Well, surely a highly respected statistician with experience working for the league office would be able to secure more footage, like that 10 steal game they posted on YouTube.
We don't have the 10 steal game. No one has it. And when I asked the league office for it, all they have are the highlights. They do have a tape of it. And when I say tape, it's film. So it's not the tape you can pop in. It is film that's at the Secaucus repository. There is, to a degree, some bureaucracy issues with it because there's going to be copyright holdings. And how is that tape going to be used going forward? Because they don't want to damage any part of the legacy of the league. There's several factors to it, which are definitely sensible business decisions. But at the end of the day, the NBA is not a film conversion company. They are an entertainment company that focuses on basketball as their product. So the contractors that they have brought in, and this is from public speaking, this is not any inside knowledge, the contractors they've come in to do the film conversion have not been able to hold up to their agreement and have been released. I think the first one initially is already bankrupted. They just haven't had the resources or the companies to come and do the conversion for them. I think they created the vault back in 2010, maybe, with this 5-year plan of having every game digitized. And here we are in 2024. And there's a lot of things that are missing. You know, we get, 10 to 15 games per team at the bottom of the NBA video site?
So I went and I wrote this for Yahoo Sports. I got the video that was available to me. I got the stats. I've got the reporting from Michael Jordan himself saying it just teed me off. There was a mission that he was going to try to prove to everybody that he was a good defensive player. Of his top 10 blocks games that season, 9 of them were at home. Of his top 8 games with 6+ steals, 7 were at home. Of his 14 games with at least 5 steals, 12 of them were at home. Even better, of his 31 games with 4+ steals, 26 of them were at home. I put this out on Yahoo Sports in late June. It went viral. 5 million people saw the tweet that I had posted, and it's very hard to get links to be seen on X, but it did some serious numbers over at Yahoo. But the problem was there was a big distraction going on. You see, I had reached out to a bunch of people in media as part of the reporting. I had reached out to people who are close to the Bulls or close to statisticians or close to front offices and tried to report out this story. And one of the people that I wanted to seek out and see this person's opinion about this reporting that I'd find, if that person had ever seen or heard anything like this, it was a one Nick Wright. So I called him. I said, "Hey, Nick, I'm reporting about Michael Jordan's 88 depoy season." And he said, well, hold on here, Kev.
It's good, Nick Wright.
And I was like, no, it's Tom. You're trying to tell me? And I was like, yeah, his depoy season, there's some questionable stat keeping underneath this. I'll keep you posted once I watch all this film. Once the story posts, Nick Wright goes on the air on his podcast, I believe, and says to the masses that he was a consultant on this project.
Did he say that?
Might put a little different hue on the old GOAT conversation. Everyone should read it. It just dropped. It is Sports Pulitzer, Tom Haberstroh. You know what I call this? Real journalism. What a legend Haberstroh is. I haven't read it, but you might say, Nick, if you haven't read it and it just dropped a few minutes ago, how do you have all this info? I might have been aware that something like this was coming. I might have been behind the scenes consulting on the project.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So this put me in a particularly thorny position because it makes us look like we're conspiring against Michael Jordan here. Rather than just telling the truth about what happened, being a journalist, being a truth seeker.
Now, Nick Wright is a consultant. Now, even though he wants to give you the Pulitzer, Tom, this is all a Klutch operation.
How would they connect the dots between LeBron and Klutch and Tom Haberstroh? Where would they even have crossed paths? He lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, for crying out loud.
Great question. How would they have connected that?
No, why? No, don't.
Wait, hold on. I want to keep my third eye open in all directions, Tom.
No!
Tom, where did you live before you lived in Charlotte, North Carolina?
South Beach.
Welcome to my home. Bienvenido a Miami.
Miami, Florida?
Oh, come on.
That's South Beach? Miami Beach?
Just because I took my talent. Oh, I said it again.
Admit it, Tom. We're not even talking to you today if you don't join the Heat Index and profit off the popularity of one LeBron James.
I get it. We're trying to find the truth, but there's no breadcrumbs here. I covered the Miami Heat for ESPN in 2010 to 2016, and I did not receive any checks from LeBron James or from the Miami Heat. And by the way, for the record, Amin, you can shut that third eye because I am not represented by Klutch. All these people out there who are accusing me of being on LeBron James's payroll, they aren't doing their own research. I'm going to say it again. I am not a Klutch client. I'm not on their payroll. And even still, they would be a client of me. This is how agents work. They work on the behalf of the person, the talent.
I like you taking the moment to explain to people what agents do.
No agent is paying the players. It is the other way around. That is the nature of the transaction. So I am not on Klutch payroll.
Okay. No one said you were representing Klutch in negotiations. The people were saying, the suspicious minds out there were saying that you were an agent, like a spy.
Yes.
Like a wolf in sheep's clothing for the LeBron Klutch amalgam of shadowy figures with all their tendrils in various parts of the NBA, controlling everything.
It's cabal.
I don't live in Cleveland. I don't live in Akron. You know where I live?
Makes it even better.
How does it make it even better?
The perfect crime.
Right in Michael Jordan's backyard.
It's all a farce. I moved here 7 years ago just to have this defense. I could not have been on the Klutch payroll because I live in North Carolina, the home of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Wilmington, North Carolina's finest.
We know Michael Jordan likes to keep his friends close. You're right there under his nose. Did Michael Jordan happen to get rid of the Charlotte Hornets while you were in Charlotte? He sure did.
Oh, the story dropped after he sells the team. How convenient.
But anyways, I'm happy that we at Basketball Illuminati can come back and set the record straight. We can get Tom defending himself and stating very clearly for the record that he is not associated with Klutch.
I know what's going to happen. There's going to be like some photo of me at an NBA court dapping up Rich Paul.
It's going to be grainy.
Rich Paul is going to be standing behind you in the media section of the Miami Heat arena.
At the end of the day, guys, the story isn't about Klutch. The story isn't about the idea that I'm working for Klutch or LeBron. I'm an agent for LeBron. The story is that back in 1988, Michael Jordan won the Defensive Player of the Year award on the foundation of leading the league in steals and having these crazy home road splits. And if he had not led the NBA in steals and didn't have all these crazy stats, I don't think he would have won Defensive Player of the Year award. And that's important because, and I mean, you said it, in the stones of Thanos, one of them is that Michael Jordan had won the Defensive Player of the Year award and LeBron James has not. And Magic has not. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has not. So if you're going to make the case for Michael Jordan, you might point to 6-0. But if someone casts aside and says, look, that's a team award, not an individual award, and look at the opponents, and 6-0, but he also lost a lot earlier in the playoffs, you might go to this, the Defensive Player of the Year award. And a lot of people have. It's not just a theoretical thing. You know why? You know how I know this? Because I did my own research. And I looked up who says that Michael Jordan winning the 88 Defensive Player of the Year carries any sort of weight in this discussion. Stephen A. Smith?
Did you know that Michael Jordan is the former Defensive Player of the Year, 1988? LeBron James has never won a Defensive Player of the Year. We're talking about what you do on both sides of the court, and we're talking about Michael Jordan, in my mind, being the greatest, but not throwing any shade on LeBron James because he's the worthy number 2.
Jalen Rose?
When you talk about GOAT, the first word is greatest. That means achieved more than somebody else. And if we're comparing Michael Jordan and LeBron, for example, Michael Jordan got 10 scoring titles. LeBron has 1. Michael Jordan has been all NBA. Michael Jordan has been Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA. LeBron hasn't.
I wonder how LeBron feels about this.
Is there an award you haven't won that still stings?
Yeah, Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only award that I don't have in my house. That kind of stings.
This has very modern day importance, but also everything that you know about the NBA. Your third eye has to be a little bit more open now. Because back in 1988, this award has some blemishes on it because of the stat keeping in Chicago. The home road bias was so extreme. But there are other things. There are other awards. There are other achievements and feats that, like a stone, they have to be turned.
If we tug at the thread of statistics that have woven the NBA's history, and we've proven that one thread could be faulty, could be manipulated, could be wrong. What other lost relics lie in that vault in Secaucus, long forgotten, like the Ark of the Covenant, with an ungodly cost to process and go reel to reel?
What is our budget? Do we save money while we're on the hiatus?
No, quite the opposite. It costs us everything we own just to get this thing back.
We scrape together everything. We've got nothing.
Someday we'll scrape together enough shekels to pay some intern at the Secaucus vault to go and get us The radio call of Wilt's 100-point game.
Oh.
Maybe that's lying down there in a box marked with a Hershey kiss.
And maybe that one's a little juiced as well.
For the citizens out there of the Illumination, if you have information, if you see something, say something. Email it to us at basketballilluminati@gmail.com. You can send us any sort of tip. That is our tip line. If you've been sitting on old VHS tapes of the Chicago Bulls season in 1988, we'd like to hear from you. Follow us on social media at Basketball Illuminati on X and B-Ball Illuminati on Instagram. Hit us up. We want you to help us on our next big story, on our next big expose. Keep your third eye open.
You have a photo of Tom Haberstroh with Rich Paul in the same room.
Sharing cigars.
Send it to basketballilluminati@gmail.com.
I'm so nervous.